Hello, British Literature students. Welcome to the Fall 2018 semester British Literature 2 class. I am Mr. Smith. I will be your guide throughout the Romantic, Victorian, and 20th century periods for the next 16 weeks. Welcome to the class, and let's have a good semester. So right now, what I really think you should do is go ahead and look at the syllabus and look at the schedule. They are both posted in the syllabus and schedule module of our class. In there, you should find just about everything you need. There may be a question or two, but most questions will be answered by that syllabus and by that schedule. So if you look at those first before you contact me, then everything should be just fine. I don't want to take a lot of time to go through the syllabus because I know you've read syllabi before. This is nothing new to you. A couple things I do want to bring up. First of all, the required textbooks. It is the Norton Anthology of English Literature. It's a 3-volume set. We're going to be using all 3 books, Volume D, Volume E, and Volume F. They look something like this. They're the 10th edition. Now, if you bought a used set, or if you're using one that was from another semester and it's still the 9th edition and looks something like this, that's perfectly fine. Either one of these will get you all of the assignments. So if you can save a little money by getting the 9th edition, you're not going to be missing out on anything. You'll still have all the readings in there, but be aware that the page numbers will be different. So the page numbers in the syllabus are for the 10th edition of the Norton Anthology, and if you're using the 9th edition, they're going to be quite different, especially in volumes E and F, where in the 9th edition, E and F continued on from D, so what would be like page 1000 in volume E would only be like page 100 in E in the 10th edition, because in the 10th edition they just started numbering the pages all over again with each new volume. So do be aware of that. So anyway, that's the textbooks, and you really should get the textbooks because, for example, the Mary Wollstonecraft reading that we're going to have for Vindication of the Rights of Woman, you're not going to want to read that entire book. If you get the anthology, you'll have just what you need to read. You won't have to read anything more than what's in there. So same thing with a lot of these short excerpts from, let's say, the French Revolution readings and so on and so forth. So I would recommend getting those texts and being ready to use those. Attendance, you must sign in twice a week in order to pass this class. No show doesn't apply if you're watching this video because you've signed into the class. The grades are outlined for you. The breakdown of how the grade will be calculated is right here under number 6 in the policies. And then my plagiarism policy. I want to stress that if you plagiarize in this class, you'll get a 0 on that assignment. If you plagiarize twice, because, you know, I caught you one time, you don't think I can catch you a second time, and then I do catch you a second time, that's an automatic F for the semester. So do not plagiarize. Turn in your own work. You're better off turning in your own work and getting a low grade than plagiarizing and getting a 0. So that's how that works. And then this extra credit thing, I want to put a little stress on this extra credit. If you contact me by email or by phone at the end of this semester and you are desperate and saying, I know I've not turned in any of my work, can I do anything to bring my grade up to a passing grade? The answer will be no. My late policy says that anything that's more than 3 weeks late is already an automatic F anyway. It's outlined in the syllabus under my makeup policy, so be aware of that. And the time to worry about your grade starts now, not in week 15. So be aware that you need to keep up if you want to pass my class, and if you're desperate at the end of the semester because you've not done any work, well, I can't help you at that point. I'm not going to give you extra credit so that you do less work than anybody else and so pass. It's just not going to happen. All right, and then that's followed by the schedule. So for week 1, watch this video, go through the PowerPoint slideshow in D2L. I would actually pull up Google at the same time. So for example, when it says the Glorious Revolution, you can Google Glorious Revolution and you'll see that that's when William and Mary came down from the Netherlands and took over the throne because King James II had been deposed because he was Catholic. And from the Glorious Revolution, we get something called the Declaration of Rights. It's important to understand this background because there will be times, and let's use the French Revolution again, where knowing the past will help you understand that reading. So Edmund Burke is going to bring up the point that there's a Magna Carta, which was signed in 1215 by King John, and there is a Declaration of Right, which was brought down by William and Mary when they took over the throne and ruled the country jointly. And it's important because Edmund Burke's going to bring those up in his argument in Reflections on the Revolution in France, which will be in week 3, I believe. If you don't know what the Declaration of Right and Magna Carta are, then that's going to make it more difficult for you to understand what Burke is arguing when he does bring those things up. So you will want to have an understanding of the background, and that's what this week 1 is about. So if you don't have your textbook yet, you're okay for this week. Now, come week 2, that's when we start the William Wordsworth, and you'll have to have the book then because you don't want to read the entire preface to Lyrical Ballads. You only want to read the sections that are assigned to you in this book. And I didn't even assign the whole preface that's in this book. I only assigned a couple of little excerpts from it. So you'll want your books by then. If you don't have your book this week, that's fine, but try to get them by next Monday so that you can hit the ground running. There's also a quiz this week. So go through that slideshow, learn everything you can about what's going on, then take the quiz. It's all multiple choice, so it shouldn't be that hard. And I forget how many questions. I think it's like 17 questions or something like that. So, give or take a couple. So take that quiz and be ready come next week to start discussing the Romantics. So that's your assignment for this week. Watch this video, go through the syllabus and learn it. Go through that PowerPoint slideshow in week 1 about the history of Britain from about 900 AD up to about 1795 AD, and then take that little quiz. And in the past, students have always done well on that quiz, and I see no reason why that can't be the case this time too. So that's it. Welcome to British Literature. I love this class. I enjoy teaching it, and I enjoy the material in it, and I hope that by the time the semester's over with, you too will enjoy this class and all the material that you've read to get a grade.